What is up, everyone? Circon is here bringing you guys the day 4 of the Advent calendar. This time around, it is somewhat of a rare tank, I guess you could say. Yeah, it's pretty rare, but it's a good. We'll have to see about that. But first off, let's take a look at the bundles. And the first thing that you'll notice is that you cannot seem to be able to buy the Fury separately, as far as I can tell. Normally, it would be right here. So you cannot buy it separately, which is a bit of a no-no. I feel they should always have it without a bundle. I think in the beginning, when they sold the Fury during the movie, they sold it without a bundle as well. Again, it is 17% off, which is a €4.22 discount. But you have to keep in mind that that mostly comes from the mission stuff and the crew. And funnily enough, the EU gets 15 missions with times 5 XP for each victory, and the other countries don't seem to get that at all. And Asia is also the only one that clarifies what is actually the bonus, which is the trained crew. The trained crew is the movie crew, let's say, but that's about it. Yeah, Fury, is it any good? I personally don't think it is worth a purchase. But let me get a little bit more into detail, right? So these stats are with all the all the memes on it, right? Frozen Arms, Recon, Situation Awareness, Clutch Breaking, all the good stuff. Mostly just, you know, you gotta have Frozen Arms. And what you're left is with a pretty damn good DPM, right? Almost 2600 is pretty freaking good at tier 6, let's be real. One thing to keep in mind if you're gonna purchase this is the base pen is 128 at tier 6. This is abysmal. You know, the crumble and stuff has a little bit more, but it's noticeable that you have a little bit more because, by God, the Fury. Another thing that you want to look at is that these things have third steps, but if you use the third steps and optics, your fuel range is only 433, and you want to get this to 445 or above to be, you know, ultra competitive, let's say, which means you kind of have to run the food to get to the 445 plus range, in which case you're gonna lose 20k credits a game unless you have a whole bundle of these already in your depot, but then you also paid for them at least 10k a piece. So keep this in mind. I know a lot of people don't like playing, or at least myself, I don't like playing without full fuel range at tier 6 and above. You could circumvent this a little bit if you're gonna cheap out by using binos, but let's be real here, that's not really worth it. So I shall put these on, yeah. So these are pretty much the stats. You have absolutely no armor. Your top speed is only 41, which is not that great for a medium at tier 6. You do have -10 gun depression, which is nice. The DPM is, like I said, pretty high. Dispersion is okay. Aiming time is okay. You do have the first steps, which honestly, for me, is almost not noticeable in these things for some reason. So I don't really think this is worth it for 20 bucks. But, you know, again, I'll leave it up to you. Because it's not a bad tank, but it's also not a really good tank. So... And if you compare it to all the other tanks that are tier 6 that are similar to it, namely, of course, the E8, because the Fury is basically an E8, but from the movies, and it makes money. There's really no difference, right? So the gun is exactly the same as the E8. The E8 has 12 degrees gun depression instead of 10, which is actually a pretty big deal, because this allows you to be hauled down a bit more, and whilst you don't have the best turret ever, 2 degrees extra does make a lot of difference. And that is noticeable. Also, the E8 is faster, and it weighs less, but it does have slightly worse terrain resistances, and the tank defers is slightly worse. But overall, it's basically a better, you know, it's a worse E8 in my opinion. So if you really like playing the E8 and you would like to play the E8 again, you already free marked the E8 or something, you want to make money in your E8, you know, Fury might be for you. However, later, I think earlier this year actually, they released the Thunderbolt, which is an E8 with less DPM, but better gun handling. And it's, you know, still goes around roughly 42, which is still slower than the E8. But this thing has the whole spiel that it gets really good hull armor. So you have 123 hull armor, and then you also have it at an angle and stuff. Just means that you're gonna bounce other tier 6s and stuff like that really easily. on the hull. Of course, your turret is still a bit of a weak spot, but the gun mantlet covers a good amount of it. So if I had to choose between a Fury and a Thunderbolt, I would probably play the Thunderbolt, even though you're going to lack some DPM. You do have a little bit better chances of hitting stuff because your aiming time goes down to 2 seconds and you get first steps on top of this. And the dispersion is also noticeably a bit better. And the turret reverse for the gun handling during turret reverse is also better. So these are all things to take in consideration. It wouldn't surprise me if they ever sell the Thunderbolt during this advent calendar, and I think that's a better purchase than the Fury if you really, really want an E8 that makes money, because it's still gonna be a little bit problematic with 128 baseman and 177 APCR pen. So keep all of this in mind. Also, if you don't care about the nation that your premium tank is at, because you have every nation at tier 6 already, you already have crews and all that, I still think, and I'm pretty sure they'll sell it, I think they sold it last year as well, and I still think that the British Cromwell B is the best tier 6 medium in the game that makes money. And it's pretty much the best medium tank in the game regardless, even if it doesn't make money, in my humble opinion, just because it's so freaking fast. But we'll talk about this in another video if the Cromwell B ever shows up. But for now, I'd say if you really want to buy a premium E8, you would go with the Thunderbolt. And if you don't care about any nation, you should buy the Cromwell B. Anyway, that's my advice for today, Advent Calendar Day 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. If you do, let me know. If you're going to pick up a Fury, let me know. If you're going to not pick up a Fury, let me know. I would love to hear the reasoning behind your purchases. So leave that in the comment section down below. I would love to see it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.